That's how this works. Been a while, Tyler.
Is it warm in here?
Yeah,
It's been a hot
is. minute. Oh,
See what I did there?
my pits. Can they see my armpits?
Yeah, speaking of, we're talking about Brad Pitt today.
Whoa! Oh, gosh,
kidding.
that would be incredible.
That's where he got his name from, was armpit.
For real?
Yeah, his first cousin.
Because he went into like the ad agency. What is it? Is it an agency?
He had his shirt off in something.
Yeah, of course
you
he
could
did.
see his armpit.
They're like, Brad.
Pit, because you saw his armpit. I could see your armpits, and he was like, "What did you say?"
I said, "This is the pit."
They said, "Wow, this is too long for a band."
This is too much.
Too much.
Hey,
man,
we're back.
back at it again.
We didn't leave. We didn't leave. They don't know we left. They have no idea.
No, you don't know.
We have the freshest episodes that you have ever encountered, experienced, that you've ever been a part of.
Everybody's talking about them.
Oh my gosh!
Should I scratch my beard on like is this an ASMR podcast?
Yeah. That's actually what this is.
Oh,
we got new microphones so that you can hang on. We're gonna listen. We're gonna drink coffee.
What if this was an ASMR podcast, but you couldn't hear it because we wouldn't shut up? Like we're the worst because we just talk over it.
That would actually be kind of funny.
Tearing open.
I want to get to the cutting of the foam, but they keep talking. But I'm learning things, so I'm okay. I'll subscribe to the Patreon.
Oh my goodness,
Joseph.
Speaking of, wait, were you kicking into Joseph?
Well, no.
Okay, good. Because can we talk about the Patreon thing? Is it ready? Okay, guys,
we can.
We have a fun announcement. Should we let Brian tell him first, or should we tell him first?
First, we haven't ordered to things. First, we have to cue Joseph.
Okay.
If Joseph doesn't.
Sorry, we can't.
If he doesn't do this, we can't even do the rest.
What
do we care?
He's the gun at the beginning of the track.
He's the guy doing ASMR on his keyboard and his drums.
Do it with your face.
Tippy tappy, tippy tap.
Hey, how's it going? Welcome to the Tyler and Neil Explain Everything podcast. Now officially your fourth favorite podcast. Hit the subscribe button and make sure you go to patreon.com/explain everything to get exclusive episodes. Looks like we made it.
You know, it really does look like we've made it.
Yeah.
Anytime you have someone else.
I can't tell because I was laughing so hard I started to sweat and my glasses fogged
Because I said good when he asked how I was doing. I said good. You didn't hear that? Hit the rewind.
If you didn't,
hit the skip back. I say rewind.
Hit the skip
like
back.
I'm my mom.
Yeah,
you kept playing your Nintendo.
Tap, 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 tap.
So
turn it down up there.
Turn it down. So now what's the order
Your kids,
of things?
I'm sorry, kids. You're just too darn loud. What movie? Endless movie.
Dennis and Menace. What was it?
How did you guess?
Is it really?
No, that was Back to the Future when Huey Lewis and the News were doing the band competition, and he didn't let Marty go on, and he was there with a megaphone. He goes, "I'm sorry, son, you're just too darn loud."
That's so good.
Yeah, Huey Lewis.
Chuck Berry.
That's the power up. Yeah. Your kids are gonna love it.
Do you think that's really how he heard about it?
That's it.
Okay,
yeah, that was
cool.
it. That was 100%.
Yeah,
how he heard about
of course.
And
And
he heard about Brad Pitt's.
That's so good.
With an S.
Yeah, with the S.
Because he has two.
Well, there's more than one, definitely.
Absolutely.
Like he's regenerating.
Where else is he going to keep stuff?
He can't look that good. You can't hide it between his abs.
With one pit, so you need two, Brad.
I like how I shifted from his armpits to his abs. Sorry, it didn't take long to get there. He's very.
We should explain Troy.
Oh my goodness, that was a great movie.
Yeah.
I loved Troy.
It was incredible.
Yeah. But also, there are parts where Brad Pitt acts like he just walked out of New York City, and then he's like, "Oh, you're Achilles."
Yeah,
but it's like I get it. But also, Orlando Bloom. Are we really going to live with that? Gosh. I mean, in retrospect, he wasn't the next big thing.
Now, okay? So Orlando Bloom, didn't he do a movie called? It's not Lexington.
Yeah.
Is it Lexington?
No, maybe. But it's the one with the shoes. He had the shoes that failed.
I don't know what it was, but he was in Kentucky.
I watched it.
And whatever that town is in Kentucky, I think that Orlando Bloom now is from Kentucky.
Okay, so you think he's from there because he did a movie there?
Yeah.
So do you think Brad Pitt is from like the time of Homer and the Odyssey?
100%.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Just making sure.
Chiseled out of marble.
Well, he keeps regenerating.
You know what we should do? So first of all, everybody.
Everybody. We're explaining ostracizing your audience.
We are going to explain something that has pretty much taken the world by storm.
Yeah, like a hurricane. Wait, are we not going to do our giveaway talk?
We are. We have to introduce this topic,
okay.
and then we will do.
Sorry,
that.
I'm really good at
It's okay.
podcasts.
Oh, it's going to be good.
Hi, my name's Tyler, and I wrote a book called Words and Sentences.
We are going to. You really want to give stuff away? Tyler is so excited about this.
So
we have
excited.
things. We are talking about hashtag Free Britney.
Yes. Not just the hashtag, but what's behind
there's
it.
more.
Yeah.
Well, so I didn't realize there was way more behind the actual hashtag. Like, there's an entire, like, how it actually happened. I did not know.
Yeah.
So there are 3 documentaries that just came out. You said Amanda watched one.
Yeah, she did. I think it was the
Did
Hulu
she like it?
I think it was the Hulu one. Yeah, she liked it.
Okay.
She thought it was good.
I have not.
Yeah.
I can't do it.
Should we call Amanda and
There are
ask her about Free Britney?
she could be our guest on our
Yes.
hashtag Free Britney. So there are 3 different documentaries that just came out, and actually one that's older than that. So there are really 4 of them.
Oh.
The Controlling Britney Spears is on Hulu if you want to get that. They also have live sports. Framing Britney Spears.
Thanks, Baker Mayfield.
Who's the other guy? Who's the other guy that was with him out there? Saquon Barkley.
Hey, by the way, because we just said sponsored by,
Yeah.
pause, because we need you guys to be more confused because that's really good for online
Here we go.
content. My friend, we'll call him Gravy because that's his nickname.
Yes.
Okay, so he is a Patreon subscriber.
He is.
Yeah, what's up, gamers? What up? Shout out Gravy. He is, I forgot to tell you this. I want to save it for on the air. So he is going through and re-listening to all of our episodes and
my
listing out
gosh.
everyone we've ever said as a sponsor.
No.
And he's going to get a shirt made that says sponsored by, and it's a list.
Gosh.
So today's episode is sponsored by Gravy.
By Gravy.
The person,
He's got to
not
put
the
his own
food.
name on his shirt.
If it is the food, it's the Wendy's
is.
biscuits and gravy.
Oh,
Because they don't put meat in it. I don't like meat in my gravy. I like smooth gravy.
gravy robbers. It's a thing.
Okay. Well,
It is
should
a
we
thing.
shut this thing down? Neil
No,
just made the
don't.
perfect joke. Perfect joke.
Controlling Britney Spears is on Hulu. Framing Britney Spears is a New York Times documentary. They're both directed by the same person, Samantha Stark, not of the House Stark.
Oh, see, I was going to say of Tony Stark,
Oh,
but you went to Game of Thrones, so you're fired.
I haven't watched it.
There's
but
a
I've
cuss
heard
word in
about
there.
it.
You're done here.
Are you sure?
I don't know. I got to shut down.
The most recent one is Britney versus Spears on Netflix, and that's the one that Amanda watched.
That's the one Amanda watched.
Okay, that's actually a combination. It's Jenny Ilescu and Aaron Lee Carr, and then Toxic, Britney Spears Battle for Freedom, which is a CNN documentary. So there are 4 of them that are out there. If you really want to fact check us, you can, but that's not really why we're here. Well, that is. That's what this episode
all that
is.
matters.
But Tyler wants to give something away.
Okay.
And if I don't hit this button soon,
So help
he
me.
is
Okay.
going. You
Should
ready?
Brian start
Are you ready?
explaining?
Yes.
Okay. Oh.
There it
Hey,
is.
Explain Everything listeners. It's giveaway time. We're giving away $201, and all it costs you is a $3 subscription to patreon.com/explain everything. $3 could win you $201, bro. That's 67 times return on your investment. I learned that from Tyler's YouTube math channel. Now get over there and subscribe. We're picking one lucky Patreon subscriber to win $201 on patreon.com/explain everything. Looks like you made it.
So good.
I'll see what we did there.
Okay. May I clear it up for people? Pretend like
do.
I'm teaching 10th,
Please do.
9th grade algebra again.
Go for it. Get it.
On level algebra.
Get it.
So here's. Could you maybe do like a end of song,
Less than
in
that?
sync, Justin Timberlake beatbox behind me in honor of Free Britney?
Okay.
Cry me a river. By the way, okay, sorry, I was gonna be clear, but now I'm not. One of my favorite things that I've ever done is whenever I was in college, my friends and I, Cry Me a River came out recently in college 20 years ago, and so whenever it came out recently, 15 to 20 years ago, and whenever someone would be like complaining about something or doing something, we would all like kind of pause because you're like taking it in, and then every single one of us in unison would go, "Cry me a river."
Oh man!
By the way, can you tell I'm a professional singer?
Yeah,
That was really
I can.
good.
Yeah.
Sorry, Justin.
It
you
was
can
more of
leave.
a trio.
That was actually Justin Timberlake. He walked in and sang that and left. But
Thanks, JJ.
we like sit there and somebody like, "Oh yeah, my girlfriend broke up with me." I was, "Cry me a river."
So we actually, both.
That's pretty good.
pretty
Neil, okay, so let me explain what Brian just
big
talked
giveaway.
about. We got a big giveaway. We are giving away $201. Why the $1, Tyler? Because it's better than $200.
There it is. There it
Okay,
is.
67. Let me start over. Hey, I'm not going to cut this. $201 we're giving away. Here's what happens. We have a podcast. You know this because you're listening to it in your ears right now.
Correct.
The cool thing is, if you didn't, you're like, well, I didn't hear that. You say that. Yes, you did, because that's how it works. You can't know I said that unless you heard me say that. That's really crazy to think about. It's Inception. So we have this podcast called Explain Everything, and we do this every week. We've never missed a week, not one time since we started the show, except for the year and a half we skipped. We were taking a little extended. I was like Rip Van Winkle, the Wishbone version. Wow, I just deep cut all these people. Had too much coffee. So we do that every week for free. Okay, get that on your local.
That's every
podcast.
Monday.
Every Monday it drops. In case you don't know, drop. That's Beastie Boys. Man, endless movie quotes. So whenever. Also, we have another episode that drops every single week. Every Thursday,
correct.
We have a bonus episode that drops and is focused on pop culture type situations.
Specifically pop culture.
And it's for our podcast called Explaining Pop Culture. Like, ooh, I think I would like to double my fun. What's the wintergreen thing? Double your pleasure, double the fun.
Double trouble?
What's the wintergreen
Double
gum
bubble?
thing?
Double mint.
Sure. Okay, double mint. So I'm sorry. I'm ridiculous in my head. So whenever you are listening to this, you're like, I wish I could listen to another one. Guess what? You can. Patreon.com/explain everything. I'm going to say it again. Patreon, Patreon.com/explain everything. And if you go in there, go subscribe there, you can go in and get an extra episode a week where we focus on pop culture. Now you're like, why would I want to do that? It's $3 a month. I could buy half a Frappuccino with that. Okay. So what you get with that is a giveaway. We are giving away $201. $201. That's right. And guess what? You got pretty good odds right now.
I would say extremely good odds.
Yeah, we are 40% of our subscribers. So you got really good chances.
It's a great chance.
So you could just subscribe for a month and quit. But also stay for the cookies.
I wouldn't stay for it.
You'd be the dumbest kid in your office.
$3 a month. You get 4 extra episodes a month, and you also get entered into a chance to win $201.
Yeah, that's 75 cents an episode if you're breaking it down. Plus $201, that would pay for it
that ain't bad.
for the next 6 years. So
yeah,
something like that. 6 or 7 years.
So if you would, if you're listening to this one and you are on our main channel right now, which you are, we're going to be talking about Free Britney, but as soon as you are done, you please go over to our Patreon and subscribe.
I feel like I talked too long just then.
Nah.
Did I ruin everything?
No, you didn't.
Should we just end the episode now?
Nope.
Called Explaining Our Giveaway?
We are going to, here, listen, so we need to talk about Free Britney. We have an audio clip that I'm not going to play because it just really, it's so pointless, but it is everything you need to know. We're going to explain to you how we got here with Free Britney. How did this whole thing happen? I don't know if you remember. You said something. There are phases of Britney's life that I forgot about. I didn't forget about Kevin Federline. I remember that one, but I forgot about her and Justin.
JT?
Yeah.
That's the best one. That's best Britney. That's what I call Jean Romper Britney.
Oh my
Remember when
God.
they went to that award ceremony fully denimed out?
Yeah, denimed out.
That's my favorite photograph
Oh my gosh.
of all time.
Well, they, I don't know if people remember this, but the Britney Spears that most people remember, you got to go back a little ways. How did we get here? Back in 2007, she had a complete public breakdown. I don't know if you remember this. She was hospitalized. You remember she cut her hair?
Yeah, she cut her hair like weird.
She shaved her head.
Yeah.
And not well.
No, she did it like, she looked like Genghis Khan. It was great.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, it was not
And there's
good.
a picture of her getting out of a car. Or
Yeah,
something.
and those are that's all the pictures because TMZ wasn't necessarily at their best at that point.
What does TMZ stand for?
I don't know.
The Movie Zone.
For real?
No, I don't know, man.
Oh, I was like, that doesn't make any. They are not doing what they said they're going to do.
Yeah.
So she had a psychiatric hold put on her. She had shaved her head. She was driving. There is paparazzi footage of her driving with a baby in her lap. She started speaking with a British accent. She was wheeled out of her Beverly Hills mansion on a stretcher. Most of these things I've done. I haven't driven with a baby on my lap, but I will talk in a British accent just for no reason.
I've taught an entire class in high school math. There's a video of it on the internet where I talk in a British accent.
I am going to go to a judge and see if I can get you in my conservatorship.
Well, I'm going to censorship you because those words sound similar.
Censorship. So she was put on a psychiatric hold in a ward. What it is called in the state of California is called a 5150 hold because she was a danger to herself. Now, there was a time where it seemed like everything that Britney had, it legitimately fell apart.
Yeah.
It was bad.
Yeah. And whose fault was that?
money.
TMZs.
The movie zone. So that was 2007. In 2008 is what started it's called a conservatorship, which is a really weird word. It seems like you're just putting words together now.
Yeah.
Conservatorship. So you have a conservator. That's a person who's conserving energy.
Yeah.
That's not it.
So it's like a sailboat because it's a ship.
Yes.
But you're conserving
it's powered
energy.
by the wind.
Yeah. That's what I know.
Why are we calling them sailboats when we could be calling them conservatorships?
I'm loud. I know.
We're done here.
I know. We figured
if
it
you
out.
don't pay for this Patreon right now, that's the kind of quality content you get every once in a while on our Patreon.
You can use that joke. You don't have to give us any.
So in 2008 is when the conservatorship started, and this is all based off of her dad. So what her dad, and his name is Jamie. His name Jamie.
That's good. I don't want to pass over that. I thought it was great.
Her dad, Jamie, he petitioned the LA County Superior Court for an emergency temporary conservatorship. This is where it all went bad. So it was just a temporary conservatorship because she couldn't handle her money. She couldn't handle her affairs, and she kept picking bad people to hang out with.
Yeah, that's what comes when you can't handle your affairs.
Yeah, it's
bad. You meant the other
affairs. Usually leads to you're picking bad people. So he went and actually signed up along with an LA attorney whose name is Andrew Wallet. Those two names are really, really important. Okay. Jody Montgomery was her manager at the time. She actually set this thing up with this lawyer for her dad, Jamie, Jamie Spears is the dad. And she took control of this conservatorship and drew $1.1 million annually in fees.
Yeah, it costs more if you're richer.
I mean, my gosh, it is more work.
If you're richer.
Now, I need to say this. It's not in our notes at all. I do need to say this. Jamie Spears, the dad, has a lot of people are like, oh my gosh, you're just trying to profit from, you're just trying to do all this stuff, trying to make all this money. He only makes like $120,000 a year.
Where does he make the rest of his money?
Off of this. He's living in a van. I don't know. I'm not really sure. Okay, but he doesn't make a lot of money off the conservatorship. This conservatorship only pays him like $120,000. Now, I'm sure he's making a lot of other money, but this is where it goes bad. So it just started as a temporary thing.
Yeah.
They're like, hey, this is best for Britney. Well, Britney gets back out. What is a conservatorship?
That's a great question. Why don't you explain that? Can I go to the restroom? You can tell I'm moving. Keep talking.
Listen,
I'm going to stop.
No, this is okay.
No, keep going.
So a conservatorship is typically reserved for someone who is in a coma or is in a severe mental illness. There are a lot of it's I would say mostly reserved for extreme. Tyler's not even here right now. Can you hear that silence? I don't know why you don't have ASMR for the bathroom. That's all right. Tyler went to what we call Tinkletown. That's what I call it. And it's trademarked. You're going to town. So if you tell your kids, you're like, hey, kids, I got to go to town. Dad's got to go to town. What does that mean? It means dad's going to go to Tinkletown. Anyways, your conservatorship is basically this. It's only reserved for extreme cases. Typically, it is for people that are elderly and incapable or have a severe mental illness. So that's why they just did a temporary, I want to say injunction because I don't ever get to use that word. But it's not really a word you get to use all that often. You know what I mean? Hey, you know what's important? Look at us. Hey, look at us.
Look at us.
Huh?
Who would have thought?
Not me.
Not me. Well, I just played all of our audio clips and I just gave everyone our $201. That's what I just did. Yeah. Tyler's back. So in an extreme case, it is a good thing. And it's a lot of times it is for people that are elderly or that are just really, really mentally severely handicapped. So what happened during these 13 years? You ready? Jamie Spears, he oversees everything. And this is going to sound, this sounds like jail, I think. Or at least it's prison. Bad. It's bad. Yeah, prison or jail or prison. What is the difference between that?
I was going to ask it, but I didn't want to get off topic again because I bantered too long.
I don't know what that is. Okay. So what he has the right to do, her dad has the right to negotiate business opportunities. She does not. She has, and I would say this, most Hollywood elite or music industry elite, they don't negotiate their own stuff unless it's something they really, really want to do. Then they have somebody else do it for them. But she has no say over it. He can sell her property. I'm talking like land, houses, cars, chickens, Any of it.
Sports cards.
Sports cards.
That's cool.
My gosh. Anybody got any Kobe rookie cards?
Your boy does.
He does. He can restrict her visitors. She's not allowed to have certain people over the house. He can file a restraining order against anyone that he feels is a threat to her stability. Every purchase that she makes has to be logged in an annual court report. And then here is where the intense monitoring comes. And this is where if you feel like, okay, you're really in prison. So there was a company called Black Box Security. Alex Vlasov, which 100% sounds like a James Bond villain. Yeah. But Alex Vlasov, he was the executive assistant for the operations and cybersecurity manager for Britney from 2012 to 2021. Can I say that? Why does Britney Spears need a cybersecurity manager?
Oh, well, because Napster, they took all the music.
For the nits.
It
doesn't make any sense. So she had 24/7 monitoring. Now this is what's gonna it gets kind of creepy in here.
Kind of dicey.
Every request that she ever made, no matter how private, if she needed something at the house, she wanted milk or she wanted something that is not as innocent as milk. It doesn't make any difference. If she wanted it, she had to get permission to have it brought in the house. So nothing, she could not have anything brought into the house or purchased. And her, there's a collection of 3 different people that needed to know. The security company had to let her father, Jamie, know what it was. And then the black box security officer had to know, and her manager. 3 people had to sign off on anything that is brought to her. You want to get, okay, Tyler got me this cup of coffee this morning.
Yeah.
Thank you. Hang on.
Okay. Oh, yeah, we're an ASMR podcast.
This cup of coffee, she couldn't have it without getting a sign off from 3 people.
That's insanity.
So when you start looking back at some of this footage of Britney on the red carpet and all this kind of stuff, and you see it there's like a sadness in her eyes. It's legit. Like that's okay. We're not even 5% of the way through.
Can I ask a question?
Yes, please.
So has this ever happened to any other celebrity?
No, not like this.
Okay.
No, not.
Is there like
not
a tamer
like
version? Not
yes.
like this. Not
so what
like
it is?
That's from The Matrix.
Not like this.
Not like shut down.
It has, but you're talking about people in their extreme old age.
Okay. So, but not any like
no,
anybody her age. That's
no,
never happened.
The only other thing that happens, and it's not a conservatorship. It's like power of attorney and a few other things that young child actors, child musicians get, but it's never a conservatorship. This is you're going to find out. They brought a psych doctor in to evaluate her, and that's how they got this conservatorship to go through from temporary over to actual. Wow. Which is why you're like, okay, this is bad. So they had recording devices in her room from 2012 to 2016 against her will. They recorded everything. So what there was a USB drive that they would offload all the audio equipment to, and they had a huge hearing in 2016 to see if she could get out of this conservatorship. And they tried to go and get this this audio footage that they had been secretly recording of her, and they wiped everything out and took it off to the side and put it off so they wouldn't give the courts access to it.
Hey. Okay, so obviously this is unsettling and it's terrible. But also what's unsettling is they used a USB drive. Like they make too much money to just use a USB.
Out of that $1.1 million, like where is that money going? Apparently not
a $30 US flash drive.
Just put a giant, like one of those giant like blimp and overhead microphones up there. Is like speak into that. So the recording device is there. Every mobile device that Britney has ever had is mirrored with an iPad to keep track of every conversation, every location, all browsing history, everything. There's no text conversation that she has that doesn't show up on the security iPad.
That's insane.
So you're talking about what you're talking about is there's actually no freedom. And a lot of what they're saying, well, this is for her own good because she doesn't make good choices.
Yeah, how many?
Teach her to make better choices.
There's so many people that don't make good choices all the time.
Yeah, every day.
Not even just like
every day. I have a list of them.
Gosh.
So I have listed out of people that, it's bad. It's really, really bad. So she has been in this conservatorship for 12 years. Think about this. Now we're talking about somebody who they will make a case here later on that she is incapable of handling her own affairs. Does this sound like someone who is incapable of functioning as a human? In 12 years, she has released 4 albums. She was at, so it's called a performance residency in Las Vegas. It's a $140 million Las Vegas residency, which is at Caesars. So she in those I think she did it for 4 years. She did 248 shows for a show called Piece of Me in Vegas. Each one of those shows netted $500,000 per show. This is where it gets crazy. Caesars Entertainment, where she was booked in Vegas, they insisted that the only way that she could continue that show is if the conservatorship is in full effect.
Is it because she's more reliable? Like they can bank on it?
They wanted to bank on their investment.
Yeah.
Which is like, okay, now I'm an indentured servant.
Exactly.
I am trying to pay something off that I will never be able to pay off. She was stuck there.
What year did she write that song, Slave for You?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Think about that.
Yeah.
Like really think about that.
I know.
It's a little scary. So she also, in these 12 years, she's had fashion launches. She had fragrance launches. She judged the X Factor. She went on multiple world tours, and she was a regular guest on How I Met Your Mother. Does that sound like someone who, now, can she manage her checkbook? Maybe not. Does she have some friends that aren't great?
99% of the population can't
get her
manage
some
it.
help.
Exactly.
Like, don't do this. So what they did is they said, no, she can't do it. Okay. Relationships. One of her best friends, her name is Tish Yates. She's the head of wardrobe from 2008 to 2010. They couldn't communicate together because they weren't allowed to be in the room. So it's our wardrobe manager for everything she did on stage and off stage, all of it. And they couldn't actually have conversations. And Tish came out and said that, she goes, it's been hard for me to come forward because she had to testify, knowing that there are people in her management that could stop me from making a living. And so she couldn't do it. So the way they actually did it is they had to, so if they were on the phone, someone else is listening. If she was going to call her, someone else is listening. So what they would do is they would leave behind notes, handwritten notes somewhere in the makeup trailer, in the wardrobe changing area, so that Tish could find it and they could communicate back and forth. Britney I don't even have it in here. Britney kept having she had 2 private lawyer meetings where she tried to find someone in a bathroom stall to meet with a lawyer next to her while she's going to the bathroom to be able to sign paperwork away so that she could get out of the conservatorship. And they caught her both times.
And then they just shut it down.
Shut it down.
So she can't even apply to get her own lawyer.
Couldn't. No. So here's where it gets bad. This is where it gets interesting.
It's insane, dude.
So Britney is 39 years old. When it comes to money, she's not allowed to use a credit card or a debit card without prior authorization. She had an allowance and I get that. Like we should all have a certain amount of money. Use the envelope method, but pay for, don't just spend whatever you want to spend. So the only places that she was able to go is like a Bed Bath & Beyond, a Target, a Home Goods, and something else. There were only these stores. So she actually wanted to buy a pair of Skechers, and they wouldn't let her.
All right, now I get putting under that. Like if you want to buy Skechers, I get that's worth. That doesn't help you. Like she does not make good decisions.
But she doesn't know. It's like she's been in a bubble. Yeah. She doesn't know Skechers are bad.
She said Skechers are bad. She needed some white Vans.
Yeah,
Daniel.
but she could have got. Did you see what white Vans?
No.
Did you see how the after Squid
Daniel.
Game? Squid
Oh.
Game. The
Yeah.
white Vans one. It was like was it like 18,000%?
Yeah,
No, 1,800%, something like that.
Yeah, Halloween.
It's oh gosh, yeah.
Have
it's
you watched
gonna be
Squid
easy.
Game?
It's great.
Have you seen it?
No, it's intense.
I haven't seen it.
It's really
Have
intense.
you seen all of it?
Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
It's really, really intense. But I will say this: it's like you can tell they're going. So it was originally supposed to be just a movie. They took 10 years to build this thing, and now all of a sudden there's this pressure. It's the #1 show in Netflix history.
What?
#1. Not even it's eclipsing everything else. But the problem is now they're pushing those guys to do #2. It leaves it on a cliffhanger, but they're pushing them to do #2, and they're going, we can't do this that fast.
Yeah.
It's intense. And the first, you don't know where this is headed. And then you're like, oh my gosh, what is happening? Okay. Yeah, it's intense. She tried to order sushi at a restaurant. Her dad denied and said, her dad threatened to take access to her kids away because she tried to order something on the menu that was too expensive.
Oh my gosh. Well, they're only paying him $100.
Her net worth, her net worth is $59 million back in 2018, and she spent in 1 year over $66,000 at Target because she visited 1 year over 80 times.
So if she spent $66,000 at Target, I mean, she bought what?
I mean,
Two
what?
shelves.
Yeah, what?
I mean, that's, Target's a little
It's
overpriced.
a little pricey. Yeah, it's a little pricey. So here are a list of the things she's not allowed to do. Under the conservatorship, legally, by law, she's not allowed to vote.
How's she going to rock the vote?
She can't vote.
Yeah.
She can't drive a car. She's not allowed to get married. She's not allowed to have any more kids. She cannot spend her own money. She can't speak publicly about the conservatorship. She's not allowed to have friends over. They have to go through a private investigator, a background check before they can spend time with Britney. So why this conservatorship? So what they did is they hired these, they're these documentary producers for true crime documentaries that poured through all the legal documents in the court cases. And they said that what was originally listed was dementia. Dementia was what got them the temporary conservatorship and then the long term. So how can you have dementia when you are able to act in regular shows, a judge, X Factor, do all these world tours? You have dementia. It doesn't make any sense. But then when you see who actually did the evaluation back in 2008, it's a guy named Dr. James Spar. He is an elder care psychiatric doctor.
So that's what he diagnoses.
That's
everybody
all
with.
he diagnoses.
I'm pretty sure I saw an interview. Amanda was watching it, and it was like he was talking, and then he was like, you know, they were asking him questions, but if they got too specific, he would be like, "Oh, I can't confirm or deny that I ever even interviewed her or that I evaluated her."
Yeah, he get a little bit shady. Yeah. He said that Britney lacked the skill or the care to manage herself, money, other people, or personal property. And then at the end of the interview, he's quoted as saying, you know, most conservatorships are predatory individuals that are only after a person's money.
Wow, but at least she doesn't have any money.
I mean, golly.
Yeah,
okay, so how did hashtag Free Britney start? This is where it gets really interesting. So Andrew Wallet resigned this year, 2021. He is that original lawyer that set this whole thing up.
Yeah.
He resigned this year, and there was a big like, wait a minute, why is he doing this? And he got the heck out. He said that they had a disagreement on a bunch of things between he and Jamie Spears, and Britney this year checked into a mental health facility for a month back in April of 2021. This starts coming. So hashtag Free Britney came from two LA comedians. It's Tess Barker and Barbara Gray, and they host a podcast called Britney's Graham. It's very lighthearted. They're comedians. But when Britney canceled her residency in Vegas, which she did, they called an emergency episode. They're just joking. They're like, oh, she canceled or whatever. Hey, let's do an emergency podcast episode. And they did it. Well, here's where it gets good.
So they didn't know about the conservatorship.
They knew about it, but it wasn't like a big deal. Like no one really thought, like, is she 100% being held against her will? Yeah. It's just this year, 2021, that people realize and started researching it. That's when 3 of these documentaries came out. So a voicemail is left on their podcast by a paralegal for an attorney working for Britney's conservatorship. He leaves a voicemail on the podcast hotline saying that she is in trouble. And that's when hashtag Free Britney starts. Did
it start as a joke, or did it start as like, hey, we really do need to free her?
And they know Britney better. I mean, the entire podcast is all on the life of Britney Spears.
Gotcha.
They're like fans, but it's comedy. And then they start. So the following day, when that podcast released and they talked about it, the hashtag Free Britney started trending on Twitter the very next day. People started asking Britney to blink twice if she is being held against her care, like in a video or on camera or whatever. Like Britney, blink twice if you're like, and people start joking around about it. Miley Cyrus starts yelling at her concerts, Free Britney. People held a rally outside of the West Hollywood City Hall. They put signs on there, Britney isn't a slave for you. That's where this thing all starts. And then over 100,000 people signed petitions to the White House to weigh in. I went to whitehouse.gov, couldn't find anything on it there. I couldn't find anything about Britney. All you have to do is go in the search engine, type Britney, nothing comes up.
Did you accidentally get universal health care? Like you go in there, you website, and bam, Obamacare.
Oh my gosh, how did I get this? This is great. Thanks, Britney. Nearly 200,000 people signed a change.org petition to get her right of attorney. And the court hearings began to see if Britney was able to live life on her own without restrictions. So in May, she was allowed to start traveling to other states because she wasn't in Vegas on that show anymore. So they allowed her to go to Hawaii and Florida and to her home state of Louisiana. And over the course of the year, the court system has now added, there are 9 states that she's allowed to travel to. Okay. Which is so weird.
Well, I can see where they'd let her go. Louisiana is like, it's like the target of states. You know what I mean? That's a little go to Target in Louisiana.
Yeah,
Same thing.
so let's do it. Same thing. Exact same. That's where she's spending all that money.
Yeah, a whole lot of.
So where are we now? As of September 29th, Judge Brenda Penny, and she has been overseeing this. So this judge in LA took over the oversight of the conservatorship because they have to review this thing every year. Took over it back in 2016 from another judge. She just inherited this thing. But Judge Brenda Penny ruled that Britney's father will no longer serve as the conservator of her estate as of the 29th. So there was a lot of court cases.
Does that mean someone else steps in, or does it mean she's
No,
done?
what they said is the conservatorship is still in place, but Jamie Spears, you are not allowed to be the one who oversees it. So it's kind of in limbo right now.
Should
there
we
are a few
apply?
other people. 100%.
They make $100,000 a year.
Hashtag get Tyler and Neil to the conservatorship.
Well, here's the deal. We originally, a lot of people don't know this on the backstory. It's on our documentary. It's on Netflix, on how we started the podcast. It was someday, Neil, we actually were going to name this podcast Britney's Graham. But it was taken.
It was so weird.
It was taken. Then we were just going to go straight to Free Britney.
Well, then I faked that. I was like, hey, listen, I'm a paralegal for Britney's attorney. And I called in and then
we were like, we can't be too direct on like talking about this. So we actually recorded 55 episodes, created a Patreon. Like we did all this stuff just to have this episode. This is the culmination of everything we've worked towards.
I think
Hashtag Free Britney.
Looks like we made it.
Yep. Looks
you
know
like
what? It
there
does
it is.
look
There
like
it
we made
is.
Neil. It does look like that.
So Jamie Spears is suspended from the conservatorship. He had some health troubles. He had some stress troubles, some heart troubles, things like that. So he is like taking a break. As of November 12th, the court will decide whether or not to terminate the conservatorship altogether or not. That's the next step. So right now, she's still in the conservatorship, but her dad is, and also her mom came forward. Her mom waited 10 years, didn't say anything. And then she came back and she said, her dad is abusive. He is manipulative. He has all these other ulterior motives and all this kind of stuff. She stood up in court. She testified and was like, oh, okay, this is not good. Yeah. So he's removed. But the tricky part for Britney, this is the next big hurdle, going towards that November 12th court date. She's probably doing it right now. I mean, we're here at the middle to end of October. Legally, to exit a conservatorship, a psych eval is required, and it will be extensive to see, can she function? Can she, like even her ex-manager, she's not allowed to be around him anymore. Jamie Spears said no. She's what's the guy's name? Hang on. His name is Sam Luffy.
That's a made-up name. There's no question.
Lufi.
Yeah,
it's not even the right. I would spell it Loofey.
Luffy Lamp.
Luffy. Lamp. Yeah. Oh, Kaiser Soze, if that is even your real name. So I think even Jamie was like, hey, he is crushing up pills and putting it in your food and in your drinks. He's been drugging her for years and all this kind of stuff. Well, now that she gets rid of that oppressive side of it, maybe the conservatorship, they could just scale it back. I don't know. At the end of the day, I think somebody needs to be there to watch over her money and to help take care of her. But
that's every rich person ever.
Yeah,
unless you get rich from being a CPA, someone should watch your money.
It's a financial advisor.
Goodness gracious!
Not a jail. You don't need a warden. Welcome to Shawshank.
Yeah,
it's bad.
That's not bad. Optimal.
No. Not optimal.
No.
So that is
either get busy living or get busy dying.
Oh man, endless movie quotes. That's really good. So do you want to do 3v3?
Yeah. Should we do like the music?
We can.
Well, Brian can.
We're playing basketball.
Welcome to the party, pal. This is 3v3.
Okay, so hashtag Free Britney. I mean, that's a pretty big. That one is. I would say it's trending.
Remember Free Wheezy? You remember that?
Oh my god!
You don't remember that, do you?
I know of it. What is that from?
It was a thing. Wheezy was in jail.
Wheezy?
Yeah, the rapper.
Oh, it's not Wiz Khalifa.
No, it's that was before him. It was Lil Wayne.
Wheezy.
Lil Wayne is Wheezy. Remember that? His big song,
Wayne.
Fireman, was his first song. Fireman coming. Wheezy.
It's so if you start looking up the hashtag free, it shows up in there. It's not as trending.
Oh, okay.
Now,
but it's still
there.
good.
Oh, it's there. No, so I'm saying it's legit. Okay, so what we're gonna do, 3v3, other hashtag free blank hashtags. Okay, so obviously Free Britney is trending, but what other free can't believe we get to do this. So we're gonna have a 3v3. Who can come up with a hashtag for free something first, and who wins this one? You ready? Do you want to go first?
You go
want
first.
me to go first. All right. My first one is hashtag free shipping.
Okay.
Because that's very helpful.
Okay.
Unless they're going to take too long to do it. But
Yeah.
hashtag free shipping is pretty good.
That's a pretty prime thing to choose.
It's prime.
Oh, okay, cool. It's on prime.
Oh, I'm paying for that shipping one way or
Yeah.
another.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So mine is hashtag freedom.
Oh.
Wow, that was not a very good.
No, that's
That was
good.
not a very good-
Freedom.
Freedom. How does he say it? It's William Moss
Yeah.
from the Bravehearts.
Yeah.
The Bravehearts.
That's it.
Yeah, a lot of people know this. Bravehearts are what those little candy hearts are called.
The little
For
things
Valentine's-
at Valentine's Day.
Called Bravehearts.
Bravehearts.
Yeah, because they make me brave because he showed love.
They ripped them out of little tiny.
Oh, little candy, little candy. Look, they ripped
They're
a little.
pulling them apart.
Oh, and then they're writing the name of the things. Like the candy monsters, like my.
But what's kind of cool though is then you could probably get like a bag of arms, a bag of legs, because you have candy hearts, but you got to have. Where's the rest of them?
You
gotta have a bag
You
of,
got to
like-
order them on Amazon Prime.
I want some left hands.
Exactly.
It's weird. All right, my second one is hashtag free Willy. I don't know if that'll catch, but yeah, that one's mine.
Yeah. Okay.
my
Well,
second one.
mine's hashtag freeway because it's less expensive than interstate.
Oh, I don't even know what is the difference.
What's the difference in a
between
freeway
those two.
and interstate?
I don't even know.
Maybe it's like there's no tolls on the freeway because it's free.
But
It's
isn't
a free
that-
way to go.
You're right.
Yeah. No George W. Bush toll bikes.
Free.
Turnpikes.
The Ronald
G.
W.
Reagan.
Ronald G. Reagan. Is it?
I don't know his middle name.
What is his middle
It's probably
name?
another R. Ronald Renegold Reagan.
Ronald Ryan Reynolds Reagan.
Ryan Gosling Reagan.
Ryan Reynolds.
Rimmel Reynolds.
All right, my next one is hashtag free Shavakadu.
Can I just say this? Whenever we like mumbled out Ryan Reynolds' name at the beginning of that episode,
It makes me very happy.
Rob Reynolds. Okay, sorry. What was your last one?
Hashtag free Shavakadu.
I know. I saw that and I was mad because you picked the right answer.
Dang
That's
it.
the best one. Free Shavakadu.
It's so good.
Okay. Mine's hashtag Freedom Mortgage. Today's sponsor is Freedom Mortgage. And Freedom Mortgage, if you're listening, send us a check, man. We just said you're a sponsor. So
Yeah.
don't make us a liar.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, or we'll put you under conservatorship.
All right. You
Which-
want to rock this? You want to see if it'll
Oh my
rock?
gosh. First we need music.
We'll do it.
That really hits.
The question on everyone's mind,
Is.
will it rock?
Yeah, probably.
The answer is probably yes.
More than likely. Yeah. All right. I don't know what is this is the segment where we do our best to see if inserting Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson would make it any better or worse.
Yeah.
And this is interesting. The last time that the two of them were together in
That
a
we
public
know of.
appearance that we know. Oh, well, he had to get a background check.
Yep. He couldn't get through this.
Got a background check.
censorship.
On August 2nd, 2003, Dwayne Johnson, which at the time was simply called The Rock.
The Rock, and he was on the WWE only.
was, yeah.
Well, no. He
Wee.
he was Scorpion. Was he Scorpion King yet?
Sorry.
That was
Wesley.
right around the Scorpion King.
It might have been.
Greatest acting performance of a generation.
Oh my gosh. Of cartoon.
And greatest CGI.
He and Britney presented together at the Teen Choice Awards. So I don't know if that made Britney any better. The only thing I could really think of is at the end of the day, Britney weighs 120 pounds. Dwayne weighs 260 pounds.
Okay.
And that's a lot more.
Does he weigh that now? He only weighs 260.
That doesn't make any sense.
No.
That's what it says
That-
as of 2021.
That feels inaccurate.
Dwayne, if you're listening, and we know you are,
Yeah.
would you mind coming over here and getting on the scale?
Jane, can you just come on, jump
Did you
on
call
the
him
scales?
Jane?
Jane the Rock Johnson.
Jane Johnson.
Jane Austen Johnson.
Jane the Rock. Wow.
Well, Jane the Rock. That's a lot of people don't know that.
They don't know that.
That's his stage name.
So that's, I don't know. Will it rock? Is Britney any better? I don't know. I mean, honestly, if the conservatorship didn't go well and the hashtag free Britney didn't go well and somebody had to get her out of it, I think Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson should just come in, bust in.
He would bust in there.
Oh, yeah.
Jamie? Hiya! He picks out, he punches. What did he do one time? No, Vin Diesel stomped a bridge and broke it.
Yeah.
Dwayne ripped off his cast, and I think he caught a car once.
I think he caught a car.
I mean, who doesn't? Catch these hands.
Oh, catching hands. Laying on.
This is the Rock. This is Dwayne. This is the Rock Johnson.
It was like a lot like Peter Parker. We already covered that one.
Yeah.
All right. This is hashtag free Britney.
Hashtag free Britney. Thank y'all for listening. Don't forget, patreon.com/explain everything. You can win $201 because we
Yeah.
are part of giveaways because that's how we add value to people is give them actual value.
Hey,
Look at us.
Look at us.
Yeah.
Huh? Who would have thought?
Look at us.
Not me.
I don't know. I just decided to play
What
it.
was that?
There's no reason for
What
it. I
was
just wanted
that?
to.
No,
I'm
play it
just-
again. Play
I'm
it again.
excited. You want to do it
I
again?
wasn't
Look
listening.
at us. Hey, look at us.
Look at us.
Huh?
Who would have thought?
Yeah.
Not me.
I mean, that's incredible.
Look
Neil.
at
And
us.
Neil just surprised me, and that was so good.
I got so much stuff. All right, guys.
Thank you
We
so
love
much.
you.
Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to the Explain Everything podcast. You can follow us on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube at Explain Everything Podcast. We're on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, but you're already here. We love you. No, actually, we're in love with you. Thanks for coming on our TED Talk. Bye.